Wow, very nice shot.
Haha, that's an easier shot, bro. By the way, did you see they open a Michelin star restaurant down the street?
Oh yeah, about that. You know what? I have booked the entire restaurant for my birthday party next week.
You booked the whole place, right? You're so damn rich. So do you think you want to flying everyone again?
Yes, as always, the private jet makes it easier. Besides, the view from the sky is very nice. Excuse me, what's wrong with that news?
What news?
You saw that one?
Serba Dinamik Holdings dan pengurusan eksekutif tertingginya hari ini didakwa Suruhanjaya Security Malaysia SC kerana mengemukakan kenyataan palsu kepada Bursa Malaysia Securities.
Mereka yang didakwa ialah pengarah eksekutif Datuk Syed Nazim Syed Faisal, Ketua Pegawai Kewangan Kumpulan Azhan Azmi dan Naib Presiden Perakaunan dan Kewangan Muhammad Hafiz Osman. Semua tertuduh didakwa di Mahkamah Seksyen di bawah Akta Pasaran Modal dan Perkhidmatan 2007.
Sabit kesalahan boleh dihukum penjara tidak lebih 10 tahun dan denda tidak lebih daripada 3 juta ringgit. Kesalahan itu dilakukan di Bursa Malaysia Securities Berhad di Bukit Kewangan Kuala Lumpur pada 26 Februari lalu.
Damn, what happened? That's an email.
Mr. Chairman, can I start?
Yeah, sure.
So, good morning, members of the board. This is an emergency board meetings of Serba Dinamik Holdings Berhad, held on 4 August 2025, chaired by Mr. Haziq. Before we begin this emergency meeting, I would like to perform the attendance roll call to ensure quorum is met and that the minutes are recorded accurately. Kindly confirm your presence when I call your name. Haziq, the chairman of Serba Dinamik.
Present.
Hadi, the CFO of Serba Dinamik.
Here.
Usayd, the CEO of Serba Dinamik.
Yes, here.
Haqimie, Audit Committee Head.
Here.
Asraff, the Legal Advisor.
Yes.
Iman, Risk Management Officer. Alif, External Independent Director.
Here.
And lastly, Afif, Sustainability and Ethics Officer.
Mr. President.
I can confirm that a quorum is present. Kindly declare if there are any conflicts of interest regarding today's agenda. Alright, thank you. Chairman, you may proceed.
Thank you, Mr. Irfan. You know, this morning, I stopped by the roadside while sending my daughter to school. Okay? There was this uncle, probably in his 60s, selling nasi lemak under a torn canopy. It was raining, and the hands were shivering. But he was still smiling, you know, arranging the packets one by one to the customer. That man doesn't wear a suit like us, doesn't have a proper job like us, doesn't even sit in air condition like we right now. But the amount of discipline, the honesty on his work, it hit me hard. And then I asked myself, how the heck did we, people with all the knowledge, the qualifications, the authority, manage to lose our compass? What's wrong with you guys? Huh? We are sitting here today, not because of misunderstanding, but because someone in this room decide that shortcut the lies, the arrogance when convenience rather than responsibility. What are you guys even thinking, huh? And that really pissed me off, you know? Because that nasi lemak uncle would never take an advantage to lie to their customer. What someone here did. So today, we are going to dig into this scandal. No excuses, no blame shifting, no PR sugarcoating. And if any of you here to protect your seat rather than to protect your company, you can walk out now. Genuinely.
Mr. Chairman, I hear your frustration and I get it. But let's take a step back and look at the bigger picture. Our 4.5 billion didn't happen overnight. We were in fast-moving industry and competing against giant, and you know that. If we didn't act quickly, we would be left behind. So, our team were under pressure, yes, but they moved with the information they had. We trusted our system, we trusted our people. I'm not saying there were a mistake. I'm saying let's not paint this as a calculated conspiracy, you know. It was a race, and we raced hard, maybe too hard. But if we are now seeing gaps in our checks and balance, then that's what we fix together. Yeah. Blame won't save this company. Action will, and I will do that.
Mr. Chairman, I just want to clarify something. Our financial statement were prepared based on the document and confirmations available to us at that time. I won't deny that some vendor details have since raised red flags, but it is unfair to suggest we knowingly falsified anything. KPMG's audit conclusions, in my view, were rushed. They didn't consider the pace we were moving at, the pressure we faced to onboard vendors quickly and meet urgent client demand. Our team relied heavily on information passed down from sales and procurement. There was no intention to deceive, but we act in good faith, aligned with the company's aggressive growth targets. If there were gaps, duplications with verification, then yes, we should and will investigate. But to call it systematic fraud without solid evidence, I don't think that is fair.
Mr. Hadi, the IT vendor address didn't even exist. Some had fake websites. We're not talking about tiny errors here. We're talking about systematic misrepresentation. Here, there are some of the reports that auditor gave to me. One of the issues that were reported to me that one of our biggest customer and supplier in Bahrain can't even locate by their own office address. This sure raised suspicion to our KPMG's auditor. And also, during last week's Securities Commission investigation, there were reports of we owning some of the company and personal stamps. These stamps were from big companies such as Petronas, Shell, and also ExxonMobil. Why are we keeping this stamp at the first place? Does these stamps are used to duplicate some of the invoice in order to raise sales figures? Lastly, Mr. Usayd, I'm kinda disappointed in you. There were hearsays that the company are going to charge KPMG in the case of defamation. Are you going nuts? Is this the right decision for the company since KPMG is our external auditor for a long time? Charging them in court probably going to ruin our public image. Can you both try to explain regarding this issue at the first place?
Is that true, Mr. Usayd, Mr. Hadi?
Mr. Haqimie, I understand your concern, but let's not jump into the conclusion yet. The vendor were approved through internet process. There were discrepancy in address of websites that shouldn't have been flagged during procurement. Not thrown at us now like a smoking gun. As for the Bahrain client, yes, we're investigating that, but again, it was a strategic relationship at the time and operation were moving fast. And regarding KPMG, we're not attacking them, but for doing their job, but we're defending the company against what we believe were hasty and damaging conclusion. Defamation is a legal avenue, not a PR stunt, you know? If you think we're hiding something, bring the proof, you know? You doesn't have a proof, otherwise help us fix it instead of playing detective.
Mr. Haqimie, listen to me. Let's get one thing straight. We did not create fake invoices. The stamps, I agree. They shouldn't have been in the office. That is a serious internal control failure. But having the stamp doesn't prove fraudulent use. We rely on sales, procurement, and project leads to provide supporting documents. Maybe some people cut corners to hit targets, but don't paint this as some elaborate fraud scheme orchestrated from finance. And Mr. Haqimie, the way you accuse me like that doesn't make your claims more incredible. If you have real evidence, fine, we'll deal with it. But don't act like the entire board was asleep while you're only doing your job.
You know what? I didn't want to do this at the first place, but you guys are playing around too much. Here, I have an evidence. This email dated back March 14, 2020. You guys can have a copy. This email was recovered by our IT department forensic team. As you all can see, it's between Mr. Hadi and also Mr. Usayd, instructing the finance team, I quote, fast-track revenue recognition and also to ensure project confirmation are received even it's unofficial. Really? There are also mention of editing supplier list manually. You two sign off on it. That isn't a rogue employee mistake anymore.
I have heard enough. This board was formed to govern, not to cover up. What I have just witnessed right now is not a disagreement. It's a crack in the foundation of integrity. Now, before we go any further, can anyone tell me what is the status quo of Serba Dinamik right now? I want facts, I want figures, and I want them now.
Let's not sugarcoat this, okay? Our internal control collapsed. Due diligence ignored. Some of the ignorant parts was our foreign contracts. Some of our deals didn't even pass the vetting basic limits. Right now, investors are spooked. Major institutional players are pulling out. Do you know what this means? We already been flagged as a high-risk entity on multiple investment radars. From the information I received, Bursa Malaysia is watching us closely as we speak right now. Our accounts could be frozen, pending investigation. And if this escalates, we may be looking at delisting. Good gentlemen, this is no longer about internal disagreements. This is a reputational meltdown and we are running out of time.
Okay everyone, let's be absolutely clear. We are fully blown legal crisis now. The Security Commission Malaysia has officially charged Serba Dinamik and several key executives under Section 369 Capital Market and Service Act 207. The allegations submitting false financial statement in our 2000 annual report, affecting revenue figures to a staggering 6.01 billion. Let me remind you, this often carries a penalty in 10 years prison and 3 million in fines per month. KPMG audits did not just raise minus concerns. They flagged for 3.5 billion in irregular transaction and unverified receivable. And I agree with you, Mr. Iman. We actually has been suspended from Bursa Malaysia in 2021 and released in 2022. Now, we are also facing a investor lawsuit and amounting 1.2 billion in creditor claims. Let's be honest, taking legal action against KPMG will not help us now. If we don't act full transparency and immediate government reforms, we risk further penalty, lawsuit and potential insolvency.
Just now, what Mr. Asraff said was true. We have already been delisted from the Bursa Malaysia. The market has lost the confidence towards our company. The question is, do we still have the moral license to operate? Because if we don't, no restructuring plan or PR campaign will save us. Delisting was just the small symptoms, but the real disease is the broken trust. And without trust, we have lost our moral right to even exist in the market. We did not just lose the credibility with the public, but we lost it with the people who have their faith towards our company, which is our shareholders, our staff, our clients, and the communities.
I don't know if you are being oblivious or what. Do we even realize what they has done to our people? We didn't just misreport numbers, but also we broke trust with the regulators, also with the employees who stayed loyal through every hardship, with our customers who believe in our services, with our suppliers who relied on our growth, and what else? Our shareholders who invested their life savings hoping we succeed. And the communities we promised to uplift, we have turned our back on them too. Stakeholder theory reminds us that a company doesn't operate in a vacuum. Every decision we make ripple through lives, and this scandal send a shockwave. This isn't just a financial failure, it's an ethical collapse. If we don't acknowledge the full extent of the betrayal, then we don't deserve the second chance.
So now you all think I'm the villain? Let me remind you guys. Every single move I made was based on the clear market data and sound strategy. Our competitors were outspacing us, and without decisive action, we would have lost everything. I didn't act recklessly. I took calculated risks and approved by the very board. The 4.5 billion deal, they weren't just number on paper. They were critical steps to secure contract, grow our client base, and keep our company ahead. Yes, mistakes were made along, the way. But don't pretend you guys didn't know what it took to stay competitive. I work day and night to keep us afloat. And if anyone here think we could survive playing it safe, you kidding yourself. You doesn't even know what you guys doing. So before you guys judge me, remember, I the one fighting for this company future. For what? For all of us.
You say you fight for the company? You didn't fight for the company. You gambled with the shareholder trust. That's not a strategy, you know? That's not a growth. That's greed for you. You push through deals without proper verification, dismiss our audit flags, and lastly manipulated some reporting timelines. You didn't save this company. You buried it under billions of lies. And let's be very clear, the board did not approve any of your deception. We trusted your numbers, but trust without transparency is a weapon, and you use it against all of us.
You lied to us and the public. You said that this company was under control. We trust you and you use our trust.
I'm so sorry, guys. I didn't even think this thing would go this far. Honestly, the pressure was real. We were just trying to keep it up. I think we could fix everything later. But I'm so sorry. I should have stopped it here. But maybe, if we cooperate now, we can reduce the damage. There has to be a way, right, guys?
Alright, enough. This is not court, okay? But we must accept that we have already failed in governance. So, I propose that we must act now.
Mr. Chairman, I propose we do a complete restructure of the board, including voluntary resignation of executive that are under investigation. Since both of our company's CEO and CFO were charged with non-compliance and submitting false statements, this action is not tolerable based on our company's value. These steps are necessary in order to regain public trust. Are there any more resolution from you guys that we can take moving forward so that this issue does not happen again?
We must protect employees who speak up. In the past, issues like false financial reporting were unnoticed because people were afraid to come forward. I suggest we implement a whistleblowing policy so staff can safely report any wrongdoing without fear. This will help us to detect problems early and rebuild a trust with stakeholders.
Yes, I agree with Mr. Chak. And also, embed risk controls into procurement, especially overseas projects. That's where most red flags are ignored. We need clear vetting procedures, ESG checks, and regular audits to ensure accountability at every level.
Let's also rebuild the public trust again. We have lost the public trust toward us. We need to show to our shareholders that we understand the damage that we have caused. I suggest that we publish a full apology message to the public. We need to explain what happened, but this time, no spin, just a sincere direct message that we understand the consequences of this scandal. But not that only. We also need to pledge full transparency moving forward. That means we provide the regular updates on every step we are taking, whether it is a process internal audits, changes of board, or improvement to our internal controls. This is important because once credibility is gone, everything will start to crumble. If we are serious about earning back trust, we need to begin with being honest and maintain through consistent follow-through.
And to add one more thing, we should conduct an IT forensic audit. We need to know what other ghosts are hiding in the system. It's time we treat risk as strategy, not as an afterthought. Every single overseas deal going forward must pass through a centralized, independent risk review with no exceptions. We also need conduct training across departments to rewire how we think about ethics, fraud, and accountability. This has to be a cultural reset. So, for my opinion, trust isn't rebuilt with one press release. It's rebuilt with transparency day by day, decision by decision. If we say we've changed, we must prove it in audit trails, in disclosures, in how we speak to our people. Thank you.
Let's not hide behind excuses anymore. If you are to save what remains of Serba Dinamik, we need to start with truth, reform, and accountability. Today's decision won't fix everything overnight, but they make the first step in owning our failures and earning back trust from our people. The world is watching right now, so let's show them a board that doesn't just react, they also leads.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. For the benefit of all present and for the record, I would like to formally summarize the key actions that have been resolved by the board during this meeting. So, for the first one, proposed board restructure, which is including voluntary resignations of executives currently under investigation to restore integrity and public trust. Second, the implementation of whistleblower policy. This is to ensure employees can safely report misconduct without a fear of retaliation. Next, the board decided to enhance procurement risk controls, especially for overseas projects, to prevent unchecked approvals. Next, the implementation of IT forensic audit, a full investigation into our system to detect any remaining undisclosed irregularities. Other than that, centralized risk review. This will be conducted, so all future overseas contracts must undergo independent, centralized risk assessments. Other than that, we will implement company-wide ethics and accountability training. A cultural reset across all departments to insist values of ethical behavior and transparency. And lastly, transparent disclosure standards. Commitment to honest reporting in audit trails, financials, and stakeholder communications. I will proceed to draft and circulate the minutes of this meeting for the board's review and feedback. Unless there is any further business, Chairman, I believe we may now adjourn the meeting.
Thank you, Mr. Irfan. So, with these resolutions, the meeting is adjourned. Let's move. Not just with words, but with responsibility, accountability, and integrity.